Welcome back to Southeast Texas Weekly. I'm Kevin Steele. We're joined with a new panel today. I say new. You guys are old hat. Everybody knows you. You're pretty much celebrities in the area. Jeff Lewis, GOP activist. Good to see you once again,
Just
sir.
because I know you, Kevin.
Michael Lindsay with Lindsay and Parsons.
Good to be here.
Always a pleasure, sir. And Nathan Buddy Reynolds, Democratic activist extraordinaire, and with the Reynolds Law Firm.
Good to be here, Kevin.
Does anybody think that the Sarah Palin endorsement of Donald Trump in Iowa will be, well, overall, but do you think it'll help Donald Trump in Iowa?
Absolutely. I think it's wonderful. I'm excited for the Trumpster, and I'm glad he's leads building out there.
Okay.
And the only thing that would be better if Trump would just come out and make her the VP candidate at this time. No cabinet position, go straight to the top with Sarah.
Dripping with insincerity, yet appreciated. Thank you. What are your thoughts on this matter?
I don't think it helps Cruz, but it's going to be neck and neck. I will tell you this. If Trump can win in Iowa and then follow up with a win in South Carolina, the nomination is over. He's going to win New Hampshire. That's not even competitive at this point. Casey's ain't going to catch him.
He's very competitive in Texas, even with Ted Cruz in the race. Ted Cruz, this extraordinary juggernaut, who set himself forth as the senator of no to the Democrats, who filibustered, made headlines, and you would think would be in a position to make inroads, is just simply not getting.
I still think a
traction
little
he
this
needs.
dust up is just the last minute
Well, I guess
hoorah. In
largely
the end,
depends on whether you
I
believe
think
these
I think
polls.
if Trump gets nomination, I still think Cruz is going to be his VP. I think they'll patch that up, and it's pretty much a done deal at this
Well,
point.
Cruz
it's not going to be Palin.
accepted the other night in the debate.
Yeah,
He accepted that Trump might be his VP.
There's no way a first-term senator could ever become president. I mean, the American people would never.
Unheard of.
It'd be unheard of.
Wouldn't it?
But he's making some political inroads and getting some support, and he's probably not going to get the nomination, but he's not going away either. And he comes across.
I don't know. I mean, Cruz could very well get the nomination. His path is pretty clear. He wins Iowa and then pulls off win in South Carolina. He's got an easy road for the first half of the nomination. What will hurt him if it becomes protracted and then Trump is able to clean up in some of the more moderate states that still have a lot of delegates, like New York. It's not a Republican state, but a lot of delegates there. So, you know, it's possible
Trump's
that
not going
that can
away
hurt.
either.
Oh, no, that's not going away either. So, you know, the chances of a long, drawn-out nomination are still pretty high, I would say. But, you know, Cruz could get knocked out early if he can't win Iowa. That's going to be a death blow for him.
You know, I'm going to disagree with you there because I think Cruz has a southern strategy that he set up months ago, and he's got people on the ground in South Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. And I think that the third and fourth week of the primaries are going to be.
That's true, but he's going to split so many delegates with Trump that Trump is going to win in winner-take-all states like South Carolina. You know, it doesn't matter if Cruz is
the Ohio, Virginia,
if Cruz
Florida,
loses,
Texas primaries. That's going to be a big, you know, the so-called now Super Tuesday.
But if Trump is winning majority of those delegates by a win in Iowa, which will trigger to the rest of the South, hey, you know, this is for real. What's going on? You know, it's going to be hard for Cruz to catch him.
Remember when we talked about Hillary Clinton as the presumptive nominee? She comes to Beaumont, she raises 400,000, $500,000, whatever the case may be. She is well funded, but we don't talk about her as the presumptive nominee anymore. Reiterate your views on what you think will happen in Iowa.
Oh, I think Hillary's going to win in Iowa, but I do think that she's moving further and trending
She was
further
down
to the
5
left.
points in Iowa in the polling.
I think Hillary's going to win Iowa. I think
She'll pull it out.
I think she's going to bounce back. I think she's moving to the left.
She's way behind in New Hampshire.
She's not going to do well in New Hampshire.
She's not going to do well there, but you believe after that she has a much easier road.
I think it's going to be an easier road, and I think she's trending to the left. But I do think either way, it's votes for the Democratic Party. People are disgusted and tired of tax cuts. They're tired of poor-paying jobs. They're tired of lousy health care, and I think they want a real change.
Is your party quaking? Is your party quaking at the idea that Bernie Sanders will win New Hampshire by 14 points and create a momentum and become the
I wish
nominee?
Bernie would have done this 2 or 3 terms ago, and every time Hillary gets on television, I think she loses 2 or 3 points. But Bernie scolded her to no end over Goldman Sachs in the debates, and that was it was right on point. I loved it, and Hillary's comeback was very weak.
And the polling in Iowa shows something like 44% of the likely Democratic voters in Iowa do not like the Wall Street tycoons. An interesting caveat that
You know,
could
Kevin,
turn
Kevin,
into
you can add
something
in
good
there
for
that
Sanders.
Bernie is attracting independents in record numbers, and that is going to bode well, I think, in the fall for the Democrats
And
either
keep
way.
in mind that Iowa is a caucus, not a mere primary, so there's a intensity gap between those two candidates that could very well even trigger a win in Iowa. Which, hey, wait a second, if Iowa falls to Bernie, New Hampshire is going to be 30 points or better probably for Bernie. What happens then? Hillary, and I really wish you'd go back and play a clip from about a year ago where I said that Hillary was in deep trouble in the primaries and everyone thought I was an idiot. Uh-oh.
And that same clip, I said, Hillary's in, no problem. Nobody's going to touch her.
Find it
Yeah.
on YouTube, and we'll find
And I
out.
was saying that Hillary's problem is she's lacking a populist message that doesn't resonate with the Democratic voters.
Yeah, the problem is the
So I think
Democratic
we're all
Party's
right.
lacking a populist message that's not resonating with the voters, and I think that's why you're seeing Trump really take a rise. It seems like I remember someone else saying that Trump was a dead man in the primaries, too. It does
looking-
We've
appear
got a
that he
little
may have a
bit of
shot in the general as well.
I thought they would put somebody up that would be electable.
Oh,
That's
Guess
all you,
not.
that's all
That
you
is-
have left
that
is
could be a
Donald
half
Trump.
hour right there.
that's pretty funny, though.
Thanks very much, guys. I'll tell you who does resonate with the voters. Dr. Brian Babin joining us here in just a couple of moments for an interview about some of the very crucial issues affecting all of us in Washington. We're back right after this.